Ladies and gentlemen, the 1CW heavyweight champion, Chris Wilde.
Baby doll, what are they talking about? I'll tell you what they're talking about. They're talking about former WWE Superstar Ricardo Rodriguez coming to Houston, Delaware tonight to challenge for the 1CW Unified Professional Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. But when they're talking about that, they're really talking about the man, the champion, the headline, the Heartkiller, Chris Wilde. And you know what? I understand. These guys come from up north or down south, and they like to be referred to as superstars. Well, since I'm one to play doctor sometimes, let's dissect that term, shall we? First, starting with the end of the term, star. Then when you think of a star, you think of something that's shining bright in the sky. And Ricardo Rodriguez, you got all the credentials, and you are great. But nothing shines brighter than the Heartkiller, Chris Wilde. And then let's look at super. What makes Ricardo Rodriguez so super? Yes, former WWE Superstar, been in the ring with the best of the best. But can he see through walls? Can he shoot lasers through his eyes? Does he have the strength of 10 men? Can he run faster than a locomotive? I don't think so. You see, guys like me, he's not Superman, but guys like me, we don't claim to be Superman either. We tug on Superman's cape. See, and at the end of the night, when all the dust is settled, there's going to be no one more super than the Heartkiller, Chris Wilde. And after the match is over and you're laying on your back, Ricardo Rodriguez, I'm going to make you do what you do best. And that is announce me as the best unsigned talent going today. And that's not news, that's the headline.
This is odd. We already have Morgan in the ring. I don't know why you need a second ring announcer.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Sort of seemed forced out here, not under his own volition. I'm being told that Chris Wilde required a personal ring announcer.
Yeah.
It does seem that introduction gets a little longer every time we hear it. And we're going to hear from Chris Wilde himself. Chris Wilde so good at getting under the skin of his opponents. Ricardo Rodriguez, known for many years for not only being a manager in WWE, but also being a personal ring announcer. He has been working very hard since leaving WWE and starting his own promotion and becoming such a prominent wrestler on the indies to separate himself and prove he is more than a ring announcer. No knock, but he wants to be known as a championship caliber level professional wrestler, Mado. So not only did Chris Wilde demand a personal ring announcer to mock Ricardo Rodriguez, but has now said that if and when Chris Wilde retains this title, he will make Ricardo Rodriguez announce him as the champion.
Yeah, some serious mind games by Chris Wilde, trying as hard as possible to get under the skin of Rodriguez.
Rodriguez has been working so diligently to build a new legacy for himself in professional wrestling, as mentioned before, not only striking out on the independents and gaining such a reputation, having such a win-loss record that he was brought in as an immediate contender for Big Blue, but also has been training the next generation of wrestlers at 3 Legacies Wrestling. The Heartkiller, the headliner, the stud of the Styles stable, Chris Wilde, has been a fighting champion. Statistic for you, Mado, there is no one in the title's history who has defended the title more times in a shorter period of time than Chris Wilde since winning the belt.
Yeah, Chris Wilde may be a fighting champion, but I don't know if I'd be wrong to say that he might be the most hated man in 1CW.
It's either him or the man that comes out with him, the head of the Styles stable, Stevie Ray Styles. And of course, you might be wondering, is Chris Wilde distracted by the crowd? It's not the case. Chris has taken to cooling down his opponents by coming out and really delaying the match.
And he's going to delay it further.
Not only does this get in the head of his opponents, but Chris Wilde is known for having such incredible cardiovascular ability that he can warm up very quickly and trying to cool down these opponents that come out full of adrenaline, and by forcing a delay in the match, he's debilitating them to a degree. He's literally bringing them down.
There's a lot of heart in the Heartkiller, if you will.
Yeah, do not put your finger in the face of another man unless you want to lose it. Yet again, Wilde on the outside. The list of opponents that Chris Wilde has defeated in this reign is a who's who. DK Van Du, Jay Flyer, Sean Carlson, Ty Awesome, Miles Millennium. Some of those are future 1CW Hall of Famers for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris knocked them all down.
You see the size of Ricardo Rodriguez. He's got the height advantage. He has the weight advantage, and he has the big-time match experience advantage. He has been on the brightest lights in the biggest stage. And, we hear in Chris Wilde's introduction, he says he has as well, and he has, but not to the same level or time that Ricardo Rodriguez has spent.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris may have been in WWE and AEW, but I don't think he was ever actually signed in either.
Ricardo, so unassumingly quick.
Yeah.
Very fast.
I did not expect this man to have this kind of speed. Just dropping Chris Wilde, and Chris once again stalling on the outside.
And if Chris was trying to halt the momentum of Ricardo Rodriguez, that has not been the case. But Chris Wilde considers himself the summer's rating blockbuster. He thinks he is the face of DSN, the only reason we watch the network. But of course, we know that you're watching because you appreciate all of 1CW wrestling and all the other great programming here on DSN. How much do you think Chris is responsible for the ratings boom here in 1CW, Beto?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think maybe he's had some kind of impact because, like, as much as people hate this man, the more people hate you, the more they want to see you lose. So people tune in to see him lose fight.
And they might be about to see that happen right now.
Oh.
We have seen a lot of great defenses by Chris Wilde, but this may be the toughest test so far against Ricardo Rodriguez, and Wilde made it pretty personal.
Yeah, Wilde just getting dropped. Wilde really tried as hard as he could to get under Rodriguez's skin, but I don't know if that was necessarily the smartest thing he could have done.
No, Rodriguez is a pro. I mean, he has swum with sharks. He has been in locker rooms with people who are out to get you and smile to your face. It takes a lot to face someone with that kind of experience. Back kick to the head, and we almost had a new holder of Big Blue.
Yeah, nearly there.
Chris Wilde may regret waking the bear inside of Ricardo Rodriguez, who's up and over, and what great balance.
Oh, it's Stevie Ray getting involved, and just like that, Chris Wilde takes advantage.
The intangible on the outside, Stevie Ray Styles wants to protect his investment. He has dropped people before, literally fired Ty Awesome after Ty lost that title, and Chris Wilde effectively stole it. So Chris Wilde knows he's got to keep winning if he wants to keep all the cushy perks that come with that championship. Because make no mistake, with that belt, being by the side of Stevie Ray Styles, you're privileged here in 1CW when you hold that title and you are in line with the Styles stable.
Yeah, but with that big a pedestal, once Chris falls off of it, he might end up like Ty.
Ricardo Rodriguez would love to add this championship to his legacy as he continues to build a new chapter of his career, brick by brick, town by town. Great call, Nato.
Rodriguez still in it.
Chris Wilde brings over a decade of experience to the ring. He was the winner of this year's Race to the Case.
Yeah, and that is indeed how he won the 1CW title in the first place.
And his obsession with this title changed him. He promised to win Big Blue this year, and it only cost him his soul.
Yeah, Chris Wilde already a great competitor in his own right, but ever since selling his soul to Stevie Ray, he's never been stronger. Having Stevie Ray in his corner is bad for everybody except the Style stable.
Turns out that when you make a deal with the devil, sometimes you do get what you bargained for. You know, there's a cost, but there's a benefit. And right now, Chris Wilde definitely living in the benefit part of the arrangement.
Absolutely. Oh, Rodriguez. Oh, Chris Wilde slips out. That was like a stroke almost.
Yeah, stroke variation.
That's in a modified crossface here.
Great positioning. Rodriguez going to have to crawl, really fight to get to that rope.
He's getting closer and closer, though. Can he make it? And he does. Chris has to break the hold and risk being disqualified.
Ooh. Chris's pride is always on the line. We hear that litany of accomplishments. If he defeats Ricardo Rodriguez, he defeats a former WWE star right here in the ring. Is that going to get added to that ring introduction?
You know, I'd imagine it will.
We're going for this Taz mission. We have seen Wilde win with this match before. Win with this hold before, but Rodriguez had it scouted. Oh!
That was a nasty bump into the turnbuckle.
Great timing and strategy by Ricardo Rodriguez, ducking his head just in time to ram Chris Wilde's skull first into that top turnbuckle.
Yeah, but Rodriguez really using his environment to his advantage to escape that hold.
Now, do you think if Chris Wilde loses the title, he'll personally ring announce Ricardo Rodriguez as the new champion?
I don't think Chris's pride will let him do that, even if he was required to. Oh, and Chris just swinging at nothing. He's got his noggin rocked.
Just wild misses by the champion, who is really on the ropes right now.
Nothing as Punya did there. As Rodriguez. Oh, wait, Wilde reverses.
Suckering Chris Wilde in. Pinpoint accuracy with the quick. We have a new champion. So close.
Almost.
A hair's breadth away from seeing a title change and completely upsetting the landscape of 1CW. The devastation for Stevie Ray Styles if he were to lose Big Blue from his stable
on his birthday. Oh, wait a minute. Stevie Ray getting involved again, grabbing Rodriguez's leg.
Not even necessary. Chris Wilde was right there and ready to go. Chris Wilde is a consummate professional wrestler. He just has more than a healthy dose of ego.
The height on that suplex cover. No, nearly there.
The Heartkiller broke all of our hearts when he looked Sean Carlson in the face and said, I will challenge you with this race to the case win. I will look you in the eye and you will see me coming. Waited for Sean Carlson to turn around, hit him in the back, and immediately cashed in to win this title. And Chris was going for the Heartkiller cutter.
Jeez, 1, 2, no. I thought Chris might have been out for a second there.
Chris thought Chris was out for a second. That may have been pure instinct and adrenaline as Ricardo Rodriguez coming so close to winning this championship.
Rodriguez getting in the face of Stevie Ray almost cost him, though.
Oh, high kick up to Chris Wilde and the Chris Cutter.
Big cutter by Wilde.
Chris Cutter, and he's got it.
Chris Wilde does it again.
In so many ways,